told us the other day that it always comes down to an unexpected match. Are you kind of surprised that it came essentially down to an injury to kind of clinch this one for you guys?
Yeah, I liked where we were at in the match, you know, from the standpoint of 3-4-0, you know. Finally got somebody that went out there to look like they wanted to wrestle, you know. I mean, it kind of inspired, you know. So I think there's a lot of youth out there wrestling tonight. Maybe it had a little bit to do with it, but from our standpoint, it just seemed a little bit uninspiring. You know, maybe we're supposed to win, and we're going to do the minimum to do it. And we had several weight classes. We didn't even take shots. We scored a lot defensively, which is a good thing. You know, there's nothing wrong with scoring defensively, but you know, not stretching our scores out, not pushing through matches. Those are the type of things that you continue to kind of see as a routine, and that routine needs to change.
You were pretty critical of Nolan throughout last year. Were you happy to see him come out the way he did?
Yeah, I thought, you know, hey Nolan, you know, let's put this match away right now, you know, and just had a lot of fire in his shots and in his legs, and it's good to see him pick up that takedown. First 30 seconds kind of set the pace of the match, and obviously, you know, I was pleased with Schaefer following it up, you know, with a late period takedown. You know, now what'd you do in the first 2 periods? You know, so you know, I didn't think we wrestled three periods at all. You know, I think we're still kind of piecing matches together to win them, and you know, I guess it's okay for now, but you know, I expect, you know, to see some changes pretty quickly.
Did you address him at all before he took to the mat, knowing that if they got those last 2 victories, it would have gone in OU's favor?
Yeah, I think he knew it. Yeah, I don't think you got to tell him, you know. So just like to see him perform a little bit, and of course he had a freshman and kind of went out and wrestled him in the past. So I was pleased with just his demeanor on the mat. It looked good. His demeanor looked good. You know, I didn't like our demeanor tonight, especially when things got a little bit tough. You know, the win, I like the win. You know, I like the separation and score. But our demeanor when the match got a little bit tough and we needed to grind some things out, you know, I just didn't like it. You know, so a lot of times you won't get that in the first bedlam, you know. But boy, we got to recognize the changes we need to make and start hustling towards making those changes. Because you know, to me, my team looked like a team that was rebuilding rather than reloading. We look like we're rebuilding as a team. Like, uh-oh, this is going to be a long year.
John, I'm sure Alex is not one of the guys you typically worry about, but he had a chance to punctuate his at the end. And I mean, will you get on him a little bit about that?
I think, you know, listen, you're going to have some injuries, and if you sit around and pout about them, okay, it can affect your overall performance. Hey, you want to play around with your weight and not continue to, you know, not Alex in general, just overall. There's a lot of reasons to go out and not wrestle with some real motivation and real fire under your butt. You know, there's a lot of reasons why you can't do that. You know, quit finding those reasons and find reasons to do it. You know, and then show some consistency, which Alex has, and he has. You know, I don't want to be too critical on him. I just want him to recognize that, you know, have you thought about, you know, a few things that, you remember what I said, is it doesn't get easier after you win. It gets tougher. People are going to give you their best. So, you know, we'll get better. We just got to recognize that we're finding a lot of reasons not to go out and perform at a good level. And, of course, Bedlam is always kind of brings a little bit of emotional state, but you want to perform under that. That's when you know you're getting where you want to be, is when you're performing over and beyond that. So,
can you comment on your younger guys' matches, especially Dean and Austin, the way they wrestled today?
Austin Schaefer?
Yes.
Well, Austin's not that young. The kid he wrestled was young.
Well, then Dean.
Dean? 2 takedowns in the first.
Yeah.
That was about it. I think he cashed it in. That's good enough. Anything else on that? Schaefer, I mean, Austin.
Yeah, his leg takedown at the very end.
Yeah, I mean, there was about 4.5 minutes of that match wrestled on their feet, and we wait till 15 seconds left in the match to decide we're going to take a shot. There was not one shot made, you know. So, you know, just some areas, maybe nerves, anxiety, but you got to train over and beyond that stuff, you know. And and we're not doing that really right now, not enough in the room. So, yeah, you know, I mean, it's a great win for Dean, first Bedlam match, all hum, you know. But then again, you know, if you treat it like, you know, there's not a problem there in your match, then you're going to have to treat that problem later on. So let's address it now that you shut down. I don't know, for one reason or another, you didn't have the push through. It didn't have to grind it out. The guy was hustling hard, working hard, and you didn't want to hustle with him towards the end of the match.
I might get slammed on this one, but I'm going to try it anyway. I know he got beat, but moving up 2 weights, it looked like Colica is starting to get the hang of it, jumping up those weights, or do you expect it more soon?
Yeah, you know, I think when it came down to the kind of the grunt time of that match, DeAngelis picked up 2 takedowns, pretty impressive.
Yeah.
You know, that's how you really make advancements. You know, so give that kid credit. You know, I don't think Colica let him score by any means, but he got to his leg. Colica started raising up a little bit, standing high. You know, we'll continue to evaluate our team. You know, and we can see some new faces in the future. You know, it's just kind of a frustrating kind of. It's always a little bit frustrating early on because you just quite can't get where you want to get, and you see a little bit more holes than what you want to see as a coach. It gets a little bit frustrating. So, but let me tell you something. I've been here and lost. That's a bad feeling. You know, so it's nice to not feel totally satisfied and get wins. It's no different in matches. You may not wrestle well, but getting that hand raised makes you feel a lot better about showing up for practice on Monday.
You mentioned you look like a team that's rebuilding and not reloaded. What is it a product to maybe bring along the guys that were in the lineup today, or switching the lineup with different faces?
You know what? You know, a lot of it is just, you know, it starts with some chemistry among your team and people that are just kind of leading the way, eager to win, eager to be the best, not settling for, you know, being an All-American again, but national champion. You see it, and I'm not saying we don't have a little bit of that in our room. We do, you know. So just kind of it's a different group right now. It's a different challenge, and you know, we just got to embrace the challenges that we have. And work through them and not give ourselves a lot of option whether we're going to come out of this or not, or whether we're going to wrestle better or not. We just can't give ourselves any option of the not part.
Coach, I remember last season, earlier in the year, you commented on the team having problems with being aggressive, but as later in the year things really started to materialize, I remember right before you guys really started to hit the stride, you mentioned we need to get tough, we need some fights in the room, we need some blood. Do you think maybe that's kind of what you need right now for the team to really get more aggressive?
Yes. That was easy. You said it perfect. You know? Yeah. I think there's a lot of that needs to take place, and I'm not going to, you know, we've been working pretty hard. Guys have been pretty good in the room, pretty consistent. So I'm not, you know, disappointed in our efforts in the room. I'm just a little bit if I'm disappointed with anything, is just kind of allowing ourselves to compromise in matches and shut her down when we're winning and those type of things. And it really don't matter if you're a freshman. You know, there's going to be freshmen. They're going to be All-Americans this year. There's been freshmen that have been national champions, so let's be one of them. Let's not be the other 90% of freshmen that are wrestling in college.
So how do you fight that complacency as the season goes on from a coaching standpoint? How do you get them from being All-American to national champion, like not getting complacent?
You just continue to preach your message, and then you need to see that message being executed on a daily basis in the room. You know, remember, you wrestle about 2 hours during the actual season. You know, 2 hours, a total of 2 hours during the actual season. Well, we work out about 3 hours every day. So where are you going to get it done at? Where are you going to perform at? You're going to perform in the room on a daily basis for that 2 hours during the season. You can sure make a lot. You can sure create a lot of good habits in the room. So.
Are there any freshmen in your room that you see that could be that national champion All-American right now?
Yeah. Yeah, oh, absolutely. And some of them are redshirting. They may not be redshirting, you know, by the end of the season. You know,
Anyone
so.
in particular that stands
Yeah,
out?
I don't want to talk about names right now, but I'm sure we'll see some changes as we go along. But you know, I think Reno tournament, as we go and wrestle in a tournament, and you know, and let these guys get 5, 6, 7 matches under their belt throughout the tournament. I think you'll see some of the things I'm looking for. You know, it's hard to get it in dual meet once a week. You know, because the settings and all that, you know, but this is more like a national tournament. You know, this is where you got to perform at.
Is Chandler Rogers redshirting? Is that the plan?
I don't know. You know, we'll see. It'd probably be best that we keep him there, you know. He's at 65, don't think he's big enough for 74, so he'll probably stay in red shirt.
And Larson had that big loss last year to Larson, and then he comes away with the victory day. Can you just talk about the improvements from seeing him wrestle with Larson last year to now this season?
Well, I think, you know, he got a nice win. He was reacting well off of his opponent's shots. You know, he didn't take one shot in the match. You know, didn't put him away probably like I'd like to see him. You know, instead it was what was it, 3-1, and there was a shot at the end of the match to go around. It's either going to be tied or 5-1. Why, you know? Why are you creating this scenario that's going to come down to the end of the match? You know, I mean, you need to blow through it if you're, you know. So I think there's definitely a better effort from Austin in the room, and he's showing a lot more just mental preparation on a daily basis in the room. So maybe you don't get it all right now, but I think it will come for him. He'll click it together, but he's going to have to be a lot more aggressive. This is a tough weight, you know, and like Austin, none of us really put pressure on people and forced our style on people today. You know, the only real signs I saw of it was with Nolan Boyd at the beginning of the match. You know, I really didn't see any signs, and I take a lot of pride in making sure we're developing in that direction, because that's the direction that you get better in. You know, you want to sit around and wrestle defensively, you got to go somewhere else. This is the wrong place to come. I don't know how to wrestle that way, so I don't even know how to coach it. So offense is better than defense.
Special tie for this specific duel?
Huh?
Special tie for this specific duel?
Oh, yeah, I thought it's been a good day good weekend for Stillwater. So you know, the wind was definitely blowing north, of course. So it's fun to watch.
Was that a motivating factor for you over the last year at all?
Yes, I agree. Last year, when the duel came down to me, wasn't mentally prepared for it, and Ross Larson got the best of me. But this time, I was more focused. Just want to take it to him, wrestle my style. Didn't wrestle the complete style I wanted to, but my coach said trying to improve as much as possible in the room and perform better.
And do you feel like you got the revenge out of the way today, or do you feel like that was back during the Big 12 tournament last year?
I was more satisfied when I beat him at the Big 12 tournament, but you know, this is the beginning of the year, and I got him in the first Bedlam, and now I know he wants to come after me, so I got to be the one making sure that won't happen.
Does it help you a little bit to already have that seed kind of over him this early in the season? I mean,
yeah, I agree. He's a tough guy, and he wrestled hard, and beating him at Stillwater was just good.
Josh, what do you think of Coach's comments about the fact that it didn't seem like you guys really came out and wrestled the way you guys could or should?
I totally agree with him. The way I looked at it as a team is the maturity level is down. I mean, there's young guys, but the way that we're gonna go from being young to being men out there and fighting for everything is creating the consistency where we're gonna wrestle the same way, whether it's the #1 guy in the country or if it's the worst guy, because anything can happen. And the guy I had today, I had to work for the major, and the team, I felt like they just they were like, Dean, got 4 takedowns, and then that was it. We have to go out and just keep pushing and grinding and wanting to just wear guys out, wrestle the whole 7 minutes, and we look good. I thought we looked good today, but we need to focus on every single match, just going and blowing through. I mean, just like Coach said, basically, to really beat the good guys.
How much is it up to you two guys as All-Americans and Alex to make sure that consistent approach you see throughout the dual season?
Yeah, I mean, I myself and Austin, Alex, we we're pretty good at leading by example. I think we all can speak up a little more verbally to the guys, but it's everybody's got to take. That's the great thing about this sport, is it's a team sport. At the same time, it's individual. So if you're able to accomplish what you want individually as a team in a duel, you're gonna get what you want out of it.
So guys, how does the preparation in the room change now that you're heading into tournaments like Reno and the Southern Scuffle, where you might face really tough foes like Wisdowski or Azurtzis? How does the preparation change to get ready for those guys in these big upcoming tournaments?
I think it's basically the same way. Is we've been busting our butt in the room, especially after Minnesota. I'm getting old. I'm not a little boy anymore. But we just got to keep pushing, and things will come along just like they do every year. But we need a lot of focus, and need to keep our attention in the room, and keep training to beat the best guys and go out in every match, no matter who it is, and compete the same exact way, and to put points on the board, wrestle Oklahoma State style, and we're going to do well in these tournaments.